across the Commonwealth of Virginia. I am so very happy to report, and I've said it several times, that Occohannock Elementary School is no longer a focus school. We are no longer identified as a school in improvement. I'll pull a couple other things out. In terms of state accreditation marks, basically, you guys have heard all about SOL tests. Basically, what you get is you get a state accreditation score in reading, math, social studies, and also made it outright in science in terms of full accreditation, full state accreditation. We made it outright in social studies. We made it outright in math. And we are almost there in reading, but we actually made a 13%, which Occohannock did. They call that safe harbor. They also call that a success as well. And like I said, that goes all on the great work from the students and the teachers. This is some of the most dedicated students and staff that I've ever had a privilege to work with. As far as the AMOs, which is our federal
Chief Powhatan, leader of a group of the Algonquin Indians who lived in what is now Virginia. In 1607, about 12 years after Pocahontas was born, English settlers established a colony called Jamestown near her home in Warracombe.
The English settlers had chosen a bad location for Jamestown. It was swampy, which made farming difficult and made it hard to defend. Chief Powhatan and his people had come in contact with white people before, but none had settled so close to Warracombe. The English began to trespass in Algonquin territory and steal their food. One day, John Smith was captured in the nearby forest.
He's in no position to trade. He's not captain. Why should I stand in fear and share with them? Other thieves had paid dearly for their crime. After you tell me what I want to know, he too will die.
I claim him, Father. What a wise child. This is a perfect solution. You can arrange to have the criminal punished for his crime, Chief Captain. Then just as it seems he's about to be put to death, Pocahontas can step in and claim his body. In the eyes of prisoners, it will be bold, fierce and fair, Chief. Fears he not to respect our laws and order punishment. Fears he not to respect your daughter's right to save your life.
It's the law, Father. The right of children less known there in the world.
Then what? If he claims that one of us, we must adopt him into the tribe.
Why shouldn't we adopt him, Father? Peace is better than war, especially in the winter. Maybe just spend time gathering food and firewood. If fighting breaks out, always men and our country can hunt. But the mighty captain and his people will be the first to learn harmony and blameless.
Very well. Bring in the prisoner.
Two Powhatan warriors led John Smith to a large stone platform and forced him to lie down.
What are you doing? I've come in peace.
You come to steal from me or spare with your life.
As agreed, now Tomquist approaches the platform and raises a sword over his head. Suddenly, Pocahontas rushes to Smith's side and covers his head with her own. Now Tomquist drops his club. You saved my life. You're only a little girl. They were going to kill me and you saved my life. How can I ever repay you? Learn and respect our ways. Teach us not your ways. Is that all? I can do that.
Early in the year, new settlers and supplies arrived in Jamestown from England. A week later, fire swept through the colony and burned it to the ground. Nearly everything was lost. The settlers grew sick and hungry. Many died. Chief Powhatan, hearing about the fire, sent Pocahontas with bushels of food and furs to the colonists as a sign of friendship toward John Smith. It was the first of many trips Pocahontas would make as her father's representative.
The English captain gave Chief Powhatan a gift of 12 swords. This angered John Smith because he didn't want Powhatan and his people to have more weapons. Chief Powhatan admired the swords and asked for more. John Smith refused. As the settlers had been stealing food, the Powhatans began trying to steal more swords. After a fight over a sword in the forest, the settlers captured 5 Powhatans. Pocahontas went to Jamestown to ask for their peace. Captain Smith, you're holding 5 of my brothers in your jail. That's because 5 of your brothers, as you call them, tried to steal my weapons. I ask you to release them. Why should I? They're thieves. My people consider you a thief once. You showed mercy to you. I've never been a thief. You don't see things the same way we do. If a stranger comes and builds his house on our land and hunts our deer, raids our fields, we consider him to be a thief. Just this once. Please excuse my brothers for what they've done. I can't. We hardly have any weapons left. As leader of the Jamestown Council, it would be irresponsible of me to let the prisoners go. They'll only return later to steal the few weapons we have left. I'm down to 100 men. Most of them are sick. No, I can't risk losing any of my men, sword-stealing Indians. Let me tell you something to my father back. We have stayed here following breakfast and Israel. It's true. You also told him you are going to go at home as soon as your ship is to make the journey. So far, you show no signs of leaving. True again. You accept my father's friendship and call him father too. Many times he has asked for weapons from house. His son never knew his father's weapons. And yet, he refuses. That is indeed true. He asks you now to free up your men. Go to that punch.
and wanted to be rid of him. Smith, however, continued to go to the chief to ask more food.
One night, while Smith and his men slept in a hut in the forest, Powhatan and his warriors made plans. Pocahontas was with them. Pretending to sleep, she listened to her father and warriors speak.
It's a 2-hour walk there. I want 30 of you to go. Wait until after midnight and then set out. It will be easier to surprise them if they're asleep.
How many English are there?
5, including Smith.
They loaded our car with our phone in the morning.
Enough! My patient has come to an end. Unload the car and then sink the boat.
For the first time in her life, Pocahontas went against her father. She slipped silently away from his camp. With a few hours head start to the Powhatan Wars, she went as fast as she could to warn John Smith.
Smith and his men were sitting around their campfire, eating the last of their supper when Pocahontas appeared. Surprised to see her so late at night and so out of breath, John Smith rushed to his feet.
Pocahontas! I have to speak to you in private. Here, we'll go to the forest a little ways. What is it? What's wrong?
You must return to Jamestown immediately. Leave the boat in the corn. My father says my son getting your men killed. His warriors will be here soon, maybe within an hour.
Men, pack everything! Put out the fires! We're going back to the fort! Now!
I don't want you to have any more of my people or yours hurt killed.
These beads are all I have to give you for saving my life. Again. How can I ever thank you?
Even if we never see each other again, remember that you were once slain by Pocahontas, daughter of the great Emperor Powhatan. Regardless of what happens between us people, you will always be my brother and my friend.
Don't worry. We'll see each other again. I know we will.
Smith, come on, we're ready to go!
Be safe on your journey back to Jamestown.
And you on yours.
Pocahontas never did see Smith again in Virginia. He was injured in a gunpowder explosion and returned to England shortly after Pocahontas saved his life for the last time. The colonists told Powhatan that Smith had died. Whatever friendship existed between the Powhatan people and the Jamestown settlers soon disappeared. Tired of war, Pocahontas left her father's home and joined the Potomac people.
Unfortunately, her own life was anything but peaceful. The English captain, Samuel Argall, had Pocahontas kidnapped. She was held on a farm near Jamestown and schooled in English ways. After marrying John Rolfe, an English tobacco grower, Pocahontas, now called Rebecca, traveled with him and their baby son to England. There, she was reunited with John Smith. At the age of 23, as she prepared to return to Virginia, Pocahontas fell sick and died.
Oh my god, no, mega super